Okay, this is I got a pretty ambitious cartoon. It's fairly complete, um, and there's several elements in it. I'm just gonna get right to it and not waste any time. Let me grab my lucky paper here and scurry this into place. And we are going to select from our pen, reach over to our pen cam and grab this one, my tool. Oh, hey, I'm okay. All right, so I'm just going to get started again like I usually do. I'm going to start in the foreground and go from there. And this cartoon I drew this about a month ago, and now as I say that, and I look down and I see that I did not specifically date this or sign it. Well, that's I hate to say that. I'm getting better, but I often forget to do that. I don't see any. I know I drew it like a month or so ago. I'm gonna go ahead and, if I don't know specifically, I usually just put circa like 4, 15, 17, and then sign it. So sorry about that. So at least it's signed, and I don't know. Anyway, we're back at it. We're going to finish what I've done here. See, I'm getting off of the page here. Let me move it up. All right, this one's kind of down there. All right, back in the saddle. Back. Okay, we're back. All right, and so this. So like I was saying, I drew this about a month ago, and I kind of like it. So here we are drawing it all up. Now what I got, it's a pretty busy cartoon. I've got it fairly completely drawn. I got two guys and an alligator or crocodile, depending on what you want to call it. It's a crocodilian thing, and I got what this I'm drawing here is a police detective. He's got his coffee. Lately I seem to always draw coffee in the sort of Starbucks-ish cups. And it's just a fairly more because it's just a very distinct kind of looking. Everybody knows that's what's in that kind of cup, and that's the only reason. And so now I like to draw cops, detectives in sort of trench coats. Kind of a throwback to the cop shows. So most of my cops are like in Columbo-esque trench coaty kind of things, and the beat cops I tend to just put in like a standard uniform kind of thing. Now this guy, I'm trying to, I know I like to keep people entertained. I want to keep moving, going fast on these. I don't, like I said, I'm not the fastest. Speed is not really my goal. There's I'm not racing against the clock or anything. It's just that it just, I know we live in an impatient world, and that's just the way things are. Again, I'm doing on feet. Feet are, like, for me, one of the tougher things to draw, and I'm not entirely sure why, but they are. And so that's my detective. How's he look? He look like a kind of like a detective. Coloring will help a little bit. I'll have like a tan trench coat, and so he's a detective looking at a murder scene. I didn't draw it here. Oh, I gotta check my monitor more, make sure I'm doing the. You can see what the heck I'm doing. Make sure I'm centered. Okay, one detective. Now, this guy's a detective. I guess he's sort of the helper detective, the assistant detective, I guess. I don't know. I think I'm gonna have him. I'm not sure whether I drew a phone or some coffee, and I'm gonna make this a phone just to mix it up. So he's got a cell phone in his hand. Then this guy will have a cell phone. And all right, so let me start with his. And he's kind of, I don't know, he's not really a stupid onlooker, but he's the less experienced of the two. And he's just kind of looking on like, I don't know, whatever you say. And he's gonna have that's him giving him. I think I just have him in just a regular shirt here. No, nothing exciting. More or less like he's he doesn't qualify for the not smart enough to have a trench coat if that requires anything. So I'm going to do again some sort of editing here. I'm going to start with this, and then I have his arm. His arm doesn't look quite long enough, so I'm going to kind of move this down a little bit and give his arm a little bit of length here, and then finish that off. I got so that's it. I just added a couple inches to his arm, and we'll finish drawing him up real quick. So he's kind of looking on, seeing, kind of there to learn from the big guy here. And I don't always draw shoes the same way. Sometimes I like to, obviously got rounder shoes, pointier shoes. I don't know why I do that. I just do. Okay, so that's guy number 2, and now I'm gonna draw some of the background. It's the background. They're in the I don't know, near a swamp in a grassy area. So this is to signify grass and shrubs and things like that. So we're going to draw some grass. Same thing up here. I'm going to move this around. Oh man, I gotta get grass, shrubs, bushes. I one of my things with my, I don't know if you want to call it a technique or a cheat, is that I'll often put shrubbery fences, you know, in the case of, I've already done it in the case of the city, a brick wall, or, you know, building or whatever, to kind of give myself some, to cut down on the amount of, just to cut down on the background, make it easier on myself. So now, so that's them. They're looking at obviously a mutilated body, and the detective is giving his 2 cents worth on this one. And here I'm gonna make this is a shrubbery deal. I'm not the best at shrubbery. I tend to want to always make my shrubbery always sort of looks similar, and I try to vary it up, but you fall into old, you know, kind of some old shrubbery patterns. I try to make it leaf shaped, and just to, I'm not so anal that they always have to be leafy specific, but it's nice to have them leafy shaped, and I try to vary it up a little. All right, so there's the bush. I'm probably gonna, like I said, I'm not a big fan of putting things into people's heads, so I kind of like their faces to stick out. So this is one where I'm going to make a rounder bush, and you make some. So what I can do with some of these is I can make the background, I can offset the colors of where I got the thing closed in on the computer, as you'll see later on. And okay, so now that's most of what I got going on. I think I'm going to throw in a tree. Do I need to throw in a tree? No, but I'm going to, just because that's the way I roll. I kind of like to throw trees in the background. They're fairly easy to draw. It's a nice little flavoring particle that you can put in to give the reader a little bit of an eye smorgasbord of items, rather than just a blank line or a wall or whatever. So I might just, well, I'll give you some foliage. Sometimes I don't even give you foliage, just give you the stubby tree end, and I'll go ahead and give you some. And the tree will continue on up. So that's just that's like a big Doug fir or some kind of large pine tree, goes up into the stratosphere. And finally, we got our second flavoring article, which is this guy here lurking in the background. I think you can see him. I'm going to do him, as you can see, I've done my traditional self edit. So I drew the overall scene. It's pretty well okay. I don't know, for whatever reason I didn't really like this, so I drew it a little differently up here. So he's sort of a goofier looking alligator, crocodile. I guess probably more likely to be an alligator since we're, you know, I'm in the States. But anyway, I'm gonna draw this one here, and so things we're going along pretty well here. Everything's, I mean, I've done it fast, and I'm not okay. So here's where we're gonna get a little creative, and we're gonna finish this guy off here. This is an alligator holding an axe, and you know, one of the things when you cartoon with, you do stupid themed cartoons, like, and they're all over the park, is you end up doing a lot of drawing a lot of things that aren't for you often common to draw. So you, okay, I don't drawing now you're drawing an alligator, now you're drawing this, now you're drawing that. So it seems like it's always a walrus, an alligator, a bicycle. You're drawing a bunch of different things. You're sort of a jack of all trades in as much as you're not always drawing, unless of course you have a recurring the character. But it's one of those things where you're always drawing different things. So it's good and it's bad. It gives you a lot of practice. You draw a lot of things sort of well, but you're not like a guy. I know some people, they draw a bazillion skulls. They're really good at drawing skulls, and that's their thing. That's their calling. But that's their trademark. But I you know, I just draw a whole bunch of different stuff, so wouldn't say I'm an expert at any one drawing thing. Goofy comics, yeah, but a specific item in said goofy comics, not so much. So this guy is supposed to be an alligator with a bit of a worried look. Not like I want to try and not make too panicked. The thing is, what's nice about the computer is I can alter the eye, the expression kind of easy, you know, on the computer by moving the eyeballs around a little bit. This is not too bad. I'm just gonna kind of finish him off. I don't want to make it too. I don't want to overthink it. So there he is. He's like a little bit worried, not totally worried. And I'm gonna do the axe now. The final thing is the axe. And I kind of screwed up a little bit, not horrible, but I want to make the axe head a little exaggerated compared to what I actually drew there, so I'm kind of going to make it a little bigger. It's just because it's the funny papers, I can do that. And I don't think I'm going to have it dripping blood. This will be blood, that won't be blood, and then I'm gonna, I don't know if you can see it in the background from where you're at, but I have like a cattails in the background. I didn't, and again, this is where that paper comes in handy. I can take a I can use that background, those background blue lines, and make it use it to make a fairly horizontal line for my water. And now the final touch. It's just something I always debate how far to go with the background, but we'll do it. So I'm gonna throw some cattails in here. So that's the cattails. That's the cartoon. There it is, drawn. And just so you know, it's going to be roughly, how does it go? It goes, this perp was one cold-blooded axe murderer, and the guy's going, hey, this guy is good. And so what I might do, I'm going to go ahead and put in, sometimes I use the thought bubbles. I have pre-made thought bubbles, but I often use, but sometimes it's just quicker and easier if I make my thought bubble. I'm going to do that, and I can always use it or not use it depending on how I feel about it. I think I'll make a thought bubble, and if I decide to use it, I will. If I don't want to use it, there's no law that says I got to use this thought bubble. There you go. Okay, so, oh yes, the final thing, of course, making the signature. Here we go. Okay, there it is. Done deal. Came out pretty nicely. I will color it up, and you'll get to see the results here in just a few minutes. Dun dun dun. So here it is in all its colorful glory. It looks pretty good. I like the way this one turned out. It's pretty clear. It's simple. You can tell what exactly all the elements are, and I like the coloring and composition. I'm going to give myself a B on this one, a nice solid B cartoon, and we're going to end it right here. I'll see you in the next one.